project that we are contemplating doing here at Liberty Village. So we're very excited to be here. First came out in the summer when it was nice and hot and we got to walk around, and now here we are, practically Thanksgiving. Are people familiar with what community solar is? To a degree?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. So it's a program that is about to start in Maryland. There was legislation passed in 2015 and signed by the governor that allows for community solar to happen. And really what it is a way for people to get solar without putting it on their roof. So we could build a large project, a commercial scale project, and we could sell subscriptions to that project to anybody who's in the same utility territory as that project. So tonight, here we are in the Potomac Edison territory. So if we built a project here, in theory, we could sell it to somebody out in Cumberland. But what we'd like to do is build a project here and have the homeowners here have the first right to buy power from it, and then anybody else in the nearby communities who, if there's still some power available, can also participate. Now the great thing about community solar is that you get the same benefits you get as putting the solar on your roof without having to install any equipment. And we're going to be offering a contract that will provide you power at the same or slight or less than Potomac Edison's rates. We have to determine exactly what the rate is, and that's part of the process that we're embarking on really tonight, is just giving you the information, hopefully getting your interest. Then we have to scout out the project a little more and get some exact pricing, and then we can better tell you exactly what the rates would be and how that would all work. But it's a pilot program in Maryland, so there's only a limited number of projects that can actually get built. And in the Potomac Edison territory, it's a very small number of projects. So we're hoping that we can move forward one way or the other with you all as soon as possible, because the longer we wait, the more the queue kind of fills up, and then there might not be room for a project this year. We would have to wait another year to do that. And we'd like to move a little more quickly. Is there anything else, Laura, you want to add?
Not at this point.
Okay, and I can tell you a little bit about Neighborhood Sun. So I'm the founder of Neighborhood Sun, and I've been living in Maryland for 20 years. I live in the Silver Spring area. Before that, I had a company called Clean Currents. We were one of the first, really the first clean energy companies in the state of Maryland, and we sold wind power to folks. Some of you might have been customers, and we were in business for almost 8 years. So Neighborhood Sun is exclusively focused on community solar. We're in Maryland and DC is where we're focused. And we are also a company that's not just trying to make profit, but we are a B corporation. So we are looking to use our business as a way to change the world for a better place. And after recent events, we could probably use a little more changing for the better. So that's who we are. I'm happy to answer questions about us and the community solar program. But right now I'll turn it over to Ryan, if you want to talk a little bit about what you saw, the project.
Sure. So my name is Ryan Nicholson. I am the sales manager for Sustainable Energy Systems. We are also a local company. We're out of Frederick. Our owner, born and raised in Monrovia. His dad's the owner of the Green Valley Carryout. So if ever you have a sandwich there, you certainly help support what has now become Sustainable Energy Systems. We've been doing this for about 10 years now. We have focused primarily on residential, but we've also done large-scale commercial development, including about 300 kW, almost 500 kW down in DC on public schools. And then also we've done several different types of systems, so we're very diversified in how we operate. We've worked for everybody from Solar City to Sungevity, and then obviously we've done sold our own jobs as well. Working with Gary is a unique opportunity for not just a company, but really our community. you know, especially the unique arrangement that you have here. This is not a, you know, this is something that's definitely unique out here, and I'm actually very intrigued by it. But what you get here is an opportunity to, you know, power your community with your own property. So I came out a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a month
October
ago.
1st, yeah.
And
The Village Fest.
yeah, and I met with Ann, and we walked the property, and they laid out for me an area that may be open to development if you were to want to move forward on this project.
We looked at a couple different ones.
And then she edited my photo.
Yep.
To be honest, no, but that's exactly what we needed. We came out, we walked around. They gave me the lay of the land, explained to me, you know, what this community is all about, what are the values of the people in this community, and how this can align with the values of the community is what we talked about. So what you see in front of you is the area that is tentatively designated for this development. I understand that there are plans to expand out, be able to use that land for other opportunities, and so that we did our best to cater the design to what the future plans of this community is. It's important to say that you know, with the exception of digging up some dirt, there's really not there's no degradation to your land. There's no toxic chemicals being moved around. You know, this is a safe install. We are going to dig some holes. We are going to trench some trenches. But when it's all said and done, I mean, it will still be an aesthetically pleasing view when you look back. So we're talking about the area directly, almost south of.
That way.
Is it? Oh,
South is that way.
lost my bearing.
South is correct,
Yeah,
but it's that way.
I lost my bearing.
It's dark.
Now,
So-
how fixed is this? Is this?
This is a completely fixed array. There is no tracking mechanism involved there.
It has to be as shown?
No,
No,
no.
nothing is set in stone right now.
Okay.
And this is a very bare bones style design. In that what we're trying to do is take the surface area that was designated, figure out exactly what exactly the amount we're confident we can fit in there. I mean, once we actually complete a survey of the land, we would develop a very detailed proposal, a very detailed design, down to, you know, the amount of feet between everything. Right here, I think I did 25 feet or 15 feet in between every array. So no, don't assume that there's all of a sudden going to be some big blue lines out there. I mean,
The
don't get me wrong.
project interests me, but this layout doesn't.
Understood.
So,
Reasons for that, so if you want solar to work at its highest production factor, orienting it to 180 degrees due south, here at between 21 to 31 degree pitch, depending on when you're trying to maximize the solar year round.
Excuse me, and did you point out to them that the native forest belongs to
well,
the,
that doesn't.
that's not in here,
The
okay,
forest is not,
The meadow is though.
right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, and those are things that, again, once we get a commitment from the group that, hey, this is a project we want to make work here, then we identify those things that might be, that the system might obstruct, and try and find ways to work around that. You know, there is a certain size system that we're trying to get to, and that's mainly because the legislation requires certain sizes. There's a minimum and there's obviously a maximum. Yes, sir.
What is
I'm
it?
thinking for starters, this row here,
Uh-huh.
why couldn't it come over here?
Well, that was where it was originally, and I asked him to do it that
Because
way.
this is totally undeveloped. There's 3 strips that run front to back. Bottom is forest, the middle is meadow, and the top is whatever we wanna do with it. And there's nothing there, except dirt pile and burn.
No.
It's fine with me either way. I had, he had it like that originally, Dan, and because I got the sense people wanted a little more open space here, I asked him to extend it that way, but I don't care myself a whole lot either way. There, do you still have your original plan?
Oh, yeah.
So he's still,
I don't know how well everybody can see that, but
Shall I
that
walk
was the
around
initial
here?
plan.
Can you see it there?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't really tell.
Yeah, we can see it.
Uh-huh, okay,
Okay, I see, so they're over here.
right, right, shorter, more of a square,
Yeah.
rectangular. So there's Plan A and there's Plan B.
Where are all the blackberry bushes and all that though?
What blackberry?
Like, that's right here, and that interfere with.
The,
They grow like wildfire. There'll be plenty of
Yeah,
blackberry.
if we
Yeah.
want blackberries, we can plant them.
Whatever.
no, seriously, there,
There's tons of them at the front of the development too.
Yeah, you can't get.
we've got no shortage of
Yeah, I can't
blackberry
get them.
bushes,
There
don't
may
worry
be
about that.
blackberries
We need
that
to
are
go.
getting to the
All you gotta do is just not
hills.
mow it for 3 weeks and you'll have blackberries.
But, okay, so that's one
Yeah.
issue, so that, it is flexible, but go ahead and talk about the minimum size requirements and how that figures into the number of panels and amount of space needed.
Do you wanna take that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the part of it is just making the project economically viable, and the larger we go, the cheaper it is to actually build it per unit.
Sure.
We wanna be at least, I'd say 250 kilowatts, which, ideally, we really would rather be 300 kilowatts or larger, up to 500. 500 would be the maximum. If we got beyond 500, it puts us into another category,
Okay.
which would,
So, and the floor is what?
there
I mean,
really, I'm saying.
it's
like
economic.
250. Yeah,
It's-
it's economic. I mean, there's, the legislation requires you have 3 subscribers.
Yeah.
But,
Okay,
yeah,
it's pretty teeny.
yeah, but, we don't wanna build, it's economic,
Yeah.
so it doesn't make sense to build a small
Sure,
project.
because you have
a small-
infrastructure getting the,
Yeah, and a big part of this, and you can talk about that, Ryan, is actually connecting to the grid.
Yes,
Right.
so one of the largest parts of our cost that we're going to see is interconnecting it with Potomac Edison. That's
Right.
either locating something somewhere on the property that we're able to extend off of
Mhm.
and enhance that capability and then
Right.
build the infrastructure we need there, or go all the way to the road.
so I think I showed you that one spot where we have conduit
Yes.
run to.
Yes, and that's something that we would want to, that would be the
And
first
is that
off-
something that would work, though? I have no idea.
You know, it'd be great to get our master electrician out here to verify that.
Yeah.
And, see exactly what it is we can tap into there, and because that's going to dictate a lot. Now,
Mhm.
that's relatively close to the site itself.
Right.
So if that's the case, that means that it's even cheaper for us to build this,
Mhm.
which means that justifies on our end
Right.
offering, or on Gary's end, offering the most competitive price possible per
Right.
kilowatt hour.
Mhm.
Which is the ultimate goal, as well as changing the power dynamic
Right.
in the state, and
Right.
hopefully in the nation. Because we're one of how many? I think we're only one of 5.
Yeah, it's like a
communities
handful
over program.
of states that have full-blown programs.
So I wanna see, does anybody have questions about the concept, about the idea of having locally generated power as opposed to buying coal-generated power that comes quite a
So-
ways off?
So this would basically, these panels would make electricity, and because we're physically located near them, we would get that electricity. But it's sort of all feeds into this big pool that Potomac Edison provides.
Right.
And
Right.
we say, okay, we're buying, I as a homeowner would buy,
A
X
block,
a
a
block.
share of it, yeah.
Whatever, it's like
Yeah.
you get to designate how many kilowatts
Uh-huh,
you want. You can buy more or less, whatever average you think you want, you would subscribe for that amount.
So you
Right.
don't actually go with what you need?
no, we would look at each of your house and
Right.
how much power you use,
Yeah.
and we try to size it like right below what you're using. So, if you're, the typical Maryland house, you'd probably be close to 10 kilowatts. But if you guys are fairly energy efficient, you might be at 5 or 7.5,
Per,
depending.
excuse me, per month, per day?
Oh, kilowatt, no, the kilowatt block, so
Okay.
if we're saying this is a
Kilowatt
300
hour.
kilowatt project,
Right,
if you bought 10, so that's 1/30th you're buying.
right.
If you bought a 5 kilowatt block, that's 1/60th. And then each month, as that produces power, it'll produce kilowatt hours.
Right.
That'll be different, it'll be fluctuating based on the time of year. In January, you'll have very
Right.
little production, in
Right.
June, you'll have a lot.
Right.
So whatever that 5 kilowatt block is producing, you would get. So you would get, you know, it could be 500 kilowatt hours one month, it could be
Sure.
600 another.
I think Betsy had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were you finished,
confused by
Elizabeth?
the entire.
No, I have more
sentence.
questions,
Okay.
but.
It's, I mean, I don't know whether, are we getting any benefit
Yeah,
from
what's the
this other
benefit? I
than
think
just
it's-
the helping the environment?
Yes, you are.
What is the benefit to us? I mean, to the individual person, not to Liberty Village.
So you are getting power that you can, at a fixed price for up to 20 years.
But what is that fixed price? Is
It's
it
gonna be
the
at a
same
price,
as we pay
no, it's gonna be,
for Potomac Edison?
we don't have the price yet, but it'll be at the same or slightly less than what you're paying Potomac Edison, so you would save
But that
money
doesn't
potentially.
take like, sound like a lot of savings to me.
It's not a lot of
Their
savings.
bill's gonna go down $10 a month, that doesn't sound like. a lot
Right,
of
well, okay,
savings.
you're not, as I say at my presentations a lot, you're not gonna be able to go on that long-awaited vacation based on the savings you're getting here. But you are able to, you know, you could potentially in the out years, be saving even more money as Potomac Edison rates keep going up. Plus,
Okay.
you're hedging against the price increase, right?
So we're playing the stock market.
Well, no, wait, but you're playing it conservatively, you're buying a fixed known quantity that
Okay,
you
well,
know is not
so
gonna
okay.
change.
If I
To
may,
put this in
Yeah.
I also
English,
wanted to
put
explain
this
it
in
a different
English.
way too. Can I explain this a completely different way? Because really, I mean, it's, Liberty Village has approached us, it's not really us approaching you. That Ann and some other members were interested in exploring this, so there's really two different parts. One is whether Liberty Village as a community would like to host this solar array at no cost to you to build it, and there would also even be some payment to Liberty Village and thanks for using the property. Then the individual members of Liberty Village could decide if they wanted to purchase the electricity that's being produced. It's not an investment, it's just like every month, just paying an electric bill for solar electricity instead of dirty electricity. And members of the community, each individually could make that decision. It's not, what is it, 18 different families that live here? So it wouldn't have to be all 18.
Right.
Now, based on the sizing that Ryan's come up with, it's actually 60 families that can benefit from it.
Okay.
So in addition, it's like another 40 families in the community. I mean, you know, I know that Ann and John, you know, are involved with the Common Market and are involved with the Unitarian Church. So those might be some of the other communities that would wanna buy the electricity. So it's sort of a two-part thing, that community solar in general, for other people, they're like, well, you know that place out in Union Bridge, that's where the panels are, but we're buying the electricity, we don't live in Union Bridge. So for
So they're
most
not
people,
buying the electricity from us, they're buying it from you.
they're buying it
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
So there's
panels.
no, I'm still
Right, right.
confused about what the benefit is for us. We're giving you the land, you're not buying that land from us.
No, but
We're
we-
getting
we-
the land for free.
No.
Right,
No,
right.
no.
Well, we still own, Liberty Village would still
Yeah,
own
we
the
still
land.
own the land.
We're giving
You
them
can't
rights
do
to
anything
land.
with
Yeah,
For
yeah, but it's not like
25
we're
years.
gonna do anything with it
What
anyway.
about
Yeah, walk
taxes?
around it and sit and enjoy it. Yeah, there's
But
lots of things
you're
you can do.
proposing to rent the land or whatever you
Right,
wanna
it
call
would
it.
be a-
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah,
So
so-
we are getting something out.
There would be
This is my question.
yes, there would be a lease,
And
not,
what would that be?
well, it depends on how much land we use,
Okay.
but, you know, somewhere around $1,000 an acre per year. So again, it's not a lot of money, but it's something that's
I
coming
have to
out,
buy a common house, right?
Very small one.
yeah.
A shed.
But there is some recognition of the amount of the use of the land. And we're talking about budget here in a couple of weeks for this community, and we're talking about trying to shave the budget to the bone. And so this is a way to get a little income for us,
Mhm.
plus have a green source of energy.
It's good marketing too.
additionally, if I may, so the individual benefit to you is yes, at first it might not seem like you save that amount of money, but the reality is that you are all going to continue to pay for power. No one's gonna turn the lights off, turn the heat off. And so, yeah, in the first year or so, no, you might not see an incredible amount of savings, but the price of the utility has consistently and will consistently rise. And it's based on a lot of uncertainty. You know, just what we experienced this week will have major effects on those markets that do influence the price of a kilowatt hour that you pay right now. Most people don't pay attention to those things, but it's very possible. And so you know, you're talking about a resource that is not infinite, that is being consumed in you know, an alarmingly fast rate. However, that sun is going to rise and it's going to set, and we're trying to turn it into a source of power for you specifically, so that this is not, you can say, for one, yeah, you get the benefit of saying I did my part. Additionally, I know you have more lots here that you would like to sell. Average home buyer in this country right now is someone closer to my age, and in their 30s, starting a family, and you offer something very unique that resonates with people, and I think that would be an additional selling point to say, hey, check it out, we're also a host to a community solar site, and here's how you sign up. So, you know, get some more lots either sold, get some more properties rented, and you know, I'm assuming that contributes to your budget, and you know,
Yeah, that is a big
Yeah.
goal here, is to
Yeah.
sell a few more lots, and
Yeah.
I see some people shaking their heads, yeah.
Yeah,
sounds good.
it's a huge marketing, I mean, that's part of being eco-village, whatever.
Yeah.
My question is, people that already have existing solar panels, what happens to theirs? Like, there are some people that have their house.
Yeah, I have a very small array on my,
Right.
it produces about 10% of as much power
Oh,
as I
okay.
need. So I,
So whatever you still need, you
Yeah.
can
Can you
purchase
sell
from
back
that.
or something?
yeah,
No, she could purchase the
Right,
90% that she's
right.
currently buying
She's
from the
not
grid,
making
she can
more than
buy.
she-
Well, if she bought a
Yeah.
bigger array, then she could,
yeah, well, a bigger
Yeah.
array doesn't fit on my house.
no, in the field.
give me the chance, I'll try.
But remember, so nobody's buying an array.
Right.
We would be
Renting.
financing, no, you wouldn't, you would just be paying per kilowatt per month, just like now, if you pay 10 cents a you know, it's the same thing, it's just, you're gonna be, asking to subscribe to a certain amount that would be equal to the amount of your electric bill. Does anybody have any idea what their kilowatt usage is?
Yeah, about-
It's about
about
9.
1,400 a month,
Oh, is it? Well, it's
Okay.
all 9.
mine,
Well,
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
winter, it's higher.
So
over the last 12 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Okay, so
the average in
That's
this
pretty
area
records.
tends to be about 15,000 kilowatt hours per household with
Per year.
Per year, yeah.
yeah, per year. Just,
Okay.
that's
That's
just
about
a
where we're
basis.
at.
Alright, so
Yeah.
then based on
Yeah.
that, then it would only be about 30 households. I was thinking you guys were using.
Well,
Well, I'm sure
It
you can find
fluctuates,
some,
that's
the
just-
smaller houses use less, obviously.
Well,
Right.
this,
Right.
this
If they have
area
the
is known for,
microsphere there,
you know, very
Yeah, they were
large,
probably half.
Yeah, and
you know,
Michael,
kind of commercialized build, Ryan Holmes type stuff, and
Right.
those are not built very efficiently, and
Right,
so
right.
that has a lot
Right.
to do with it as well. And then the city also, I think, skews it a lot, because very old historic
No,
buildings.
no, I was
probably
just saying,
also
based on what John was
Yeah.
saying, so that would be more like.
well, I have one of the larger model house, and I
Right, right.
suspect the smaller ones use a bit less unless they
Right.
have
Because
a
I
lot of
think
kids.
Betsy's bill is usually half of what ours is.
I don't know, what is your bill now?
130-ish,
a month.
Whatever.
Well, it depends, I'm not on, are you on a fixed?
no.
Really?
I've had bills that are
Ours
like
is about
90.
Last month?
Yeah,
60.
yeah, and
But
I
there's,
remember Michael had
Several
most too.
people living in your house. John has 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of it's the people
Well,
and some of
there's
it's
three,
the
three
area.
adults,
Yeah.
so 3
Yeah.
people are using TVs, 3 people
Exactly.
are
You don't
using
have TVs.
computers, 3 people are using hair dryers.
Oh, those are.
He said
actually-
already 65.
All in
years
one
old.
uses
And they're using 3 different stoves,
Right.
that produces
9?
heat.
Yeah,
Uses
yeah, that's the
more,
big
so-
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are individual people that are using
But any
individual.
other questions
If
about the
your house, you
overall
only use one
concept?
stove.
Yes.
Right.
Who maintains them when it's snow and all that
That's a
stuff?
good question.
Yeah, I wasn't finished.
There, there's a contract for a company to do the operation and maintenance. So that would be, I don't know, if that's something you guys do?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we would definitely be able to provide that service. You know, for the most part, on the standard solar array that goes on a rooftop, the amount of maintenance that goes into it is relatively minimum. Now, this is very different. You know, you're going to be dealing with a lot higher concentrations of electricity, moving over further distances. But ultimately, no, it wouldn't. There wouldn't be around-the-clock crews out there working on this. There would be, you know, it would be scheduled maintenance. You would be well aware of when someone's coming out, and I think you'd find that we're pretty pleasant guys. So not too terrible to be
I
around.
meant for like
Who
the
would-
snow removal and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was wondering who would maintain the land
And the land
strips
around it.
between the
Mowing and
weeds.
that.
Oh, so that would be again something that would get contracted out to someone certified to do that.
They own the system,
Mhm.
they maintain the system, they mow between the panels.
So
They put a fence
we
up
have to
around
keep it, we have to keep the system running at full capacity, in order to get the kind of return that we need for the investment. So, you know, the less power it produces, the less
Yeah.
revenue we're able to collect.
Right, but all that onus would be on us, not
Yeah.
Liberty Village.
I have a little tiny positive for the design, is that back fence line, we've tried to keep that clean for years, and it just grows and grows and grows, and you'd be keeping it clean. I kinda like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like I said, it's small.
yeah.
First 3 rows out.
Have you run any of these system plans through county permitting yet?
No, but I mean, again, as a company has been operating in Frederick for 10 years, I mean, we're very familiar with the process of all permitting, zoning that's necessary, as well as interconnecting with the utility itself.
So my specific question was, is the county gonna come back and say this is all impervious surface, so you gotta double up your stormwater management?
That's all stuff that we're gonna determine during the full survey.
So you don't know yet?
Now, if I understand, I was informed that this is not this area is not designated for stormwater management.
Well, they change that every year.
Well, I imagine once we got a couple cables full of a lot of electricity, that might change.
That'd be quite
So-
a stretch to consider that impervious surface.
Not
Yeah.
the bigger
I
county.
mean, it's up above the ground, and, you know.
Right,
and
but it's
you've
solid surface.
But correct me if I'm wrong, actually on the community solar scale, solar panels are considered pervious. They're considered actually a benefit that they can actually be used to qualify for stormwater. They're not considered like pavement
Right.
because underneath them is the grass. And
All
so
the
it was
water
this-
absorbing ground that was there
Still
before
there.
is still there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
yeah.
available.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's not considered like a roof, it's considered.
But in this case, to answer your question, we will schedule a walkthrough with permitting inspectors, come out here and make sure that they're well aware of what we're doing. We will have submitted all of this well in advance. Structural engineers are gonna look over all of this, surveyors are gonna look over all of this. I mean, that's all mandated by local code and state law. So, cause this is reaching utility scale electrical project, no longer the same thing as putting a couple holes in someone's roof and racking a panel to it. So, but great question, but we would be going through every little detail before we broke ground on this, and that's part of this. This is really the first step. Are you interested? If you are, then that's when we can start moving in that direction
Yeah.
and answering a lot of the major questions.
And the lease contract that we would sign with you all would have provisions in it that if for whatever reason we can't get the project permitted,